Disappears, and it's this week in Disney for June 6th to June 12th.
Nice even numbers. I love those.
Yeah,
Rare
for
on
sure.
sevens.
What?
Meaning the odd number that a week can be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But we're excited to be here with you guys this week and talk about some cool Disney history. And to start off, we're going to head to June 6th, first day of the week, 1952. And this is a cartoon, which I hope you guys will go check out. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Susie, the Little Blue Coupe.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, this is such an important
Not a
cartoon
little deuce coupe, but you wouldn't be far off.
to check out, because this is when Disney was anthropomorphizing the cars. And in the future, this will, you know, be the stylistic inspiration for, of course, Disney Pixar's Cars. So this is a good,
Mr.
like, you know, like homework sort of. Go check this out. I love this cartoon, not just because of the Cars element, but also because of the story of it and it's really the story of a life of a car and what cars go through, and it's so right. Except I feel like cars used to last a little bit longer than they do now. I don't know.
Good job.
Yeah. Well, at least in this car story.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to check it out. It's really, really cute, and I don't know, I like this one. You didn't get to check it out, so you're gonna have to watch it too.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you.
Susie's a little blue, like I said, it's called the Little Blue Coupe, so it's a cute one.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. And then moving on to 2001, Darkhorse Comics publishes Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
There you go.
The full color 56-page comic book features a cover by Mike Mignola. So his art was really what they used to inspire the film.
Okay.
So,
I love Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think it's a great film.
Yeah.
You know.
I like it from an artistic standpoint.
Yeah. And from
Definitely.
a talent standpoint too. Like Michael J. Fox is in that as the voice of Milo.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I'm a big Atlantis fan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name from Star Wars is in it as the
Patrick Stewart?
No,
He's in everything.
no.
Sorry.
Spock.
Oh yeah, Leonard
Leonard
Nimoy.
I always love that.
It's
One of his Disney voice acting.
Yeah.
But these are the comic books. Do you guys like comic books? Because we really, really do.
We love the graphic novels.
Graphic novels, but comic books.
No, I
sure.
agree. Yes.
Yeah, so
in this case, because of the length as well. Carry on.
What do you guys think? I mean, Disney there's so many outlets for comic books all over the spectrum of the different, you know, Star Wars, Marvel, and obviously Atlantis. I wouldn't say everything has a comic book, but many of their storylines do. So do you guys like comic books? Tell us in the comments below. I'd like to hear
Long
about
history
that.
and part of Disney.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Scrooge was born there, so yeah.
There you go. There you go. So moving on to June 7th, 2002, Disney's animated series Kim Possible premieres on the Disney channel. They did 3 back-to-back episodes.
So nice.
When it premiered. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I think, because usually it's like you get 1 episode, but you got 3 for a premiere.
You know, how do you cancel a naked mole rat? Am I right?
Oh my gosh. Christy Carlson Romano. So she had been in Even Stevens, Shia LaBeouf's sister.
Right.
And Even Stevens. We love that.
Yeah.
We love this show. Our kids, our girls watch this.
She's really someone that I hope like comes out of whatever retirement she's in and continues to
Is she in retirement?
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm not paying enough attention. I apologize.
I've seen her YouTube stuff.
Okay.
And,
I mean, for Disney,
like
working with Disney.
Yeah, does it seem like she's doing a lot of acting at the moment?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I have
She's had some hard breaks, I think.
Okay. Well, I have this thought with like Mary Poppins, where like they have it be like Doctor Who or James Bond, and they like always switch up the actress. So like maybe even every film is a different actress, and I think she might be wonderful for it. She'd be wonderful
for
Mary
sure.
Poppins.
The first of Mary Poppins being
Ramona.
the only true and real Mary Poppins in
Whoa.
my book.
Wow.
No, it's all good. It's
Careful
all good.
now. It's getting hot.
So yeah, this was cool. And
Spoonful
then
of sugar, please.
this series did really well, so much so that they did the Epcot
Yes. The Kim Possible Around the World Showcase. Yeah, Kim Possible.
Right. So it was definitely an IP that they were like believing in at the time. I think this is a fun one. It was a girl being a super, detective sort of, hero person.
Yeah.
It
With
was
a
really,
great
really
outfit.
fun. Yeah.
Great outfit.
Yeah. It was
like
cool
nods to like Laura Croft and Tomb Raider, of course, but not there. Like all her own.
Yeah. So it's a good one. And then moving on to June 9th, 1956. This was interesting. Portland, Oregon has their own annual Portland Rose Festival.
Okay.
But of course it wouldn't be like right after Christmas like California. It's later, much later, which obviously
Very
June
darn
9th.
near July.
Well, June 9th. And that's because it's way colder there, of course. But this year, in 1956, the whole theme was Disneyland in flowers. So this is so cool, and you can kind of see some pictures if you Google this. But they had adult Mouseketeer at the time, Jimmy Dodd, come
There you go.
and show up as the Grand Marshal, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this was really, really interesting. I don't know if other communities and places did something like a nod to Disneyland, but this is something that they did in 1956 in Portland,
nice.
Oregon. So
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I think it's children's theater that carry on the most community nods to Disney these days. How nice.
That's true.
You know what I mean? With their
this was definitely
junior
a long time ago.
productions,
Yeah.
Children's community theater is kind of the ambassadors of Disney outreach.
I know, at least for us, that was what we experienced.
I can't think of any.
Did a lot of the Disney Junior sort of
course.
theatrical productions, which
Yeah.
are really fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Over 30 productions our
Yeah.
family did before living in Florida.
Yeah, and I haven't noticed any, rose parades though, small communities, but of course regular parades.
How wonderful.
Yeah, definitely. But then moving on the same day, June 9th, 1963, actor Johnny Depp is born. Yep, in Owensboro, Kentucky. He's from Kentucky.
There you go.
You didn't know. So that's
Southern
cool.
boy.
So his birthday's on June 9th, and good time of year to have a birthday.
Yeah.
Good time for him to celebrate, probably, right? About now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot
for
to
sure.
celebrate.
For sure.
New lease on life.
Yeah.
Thank you, public.
Definitely.
goodness.
But I mean, we know him from so many films, but he got his start going back.
Nightmare on Elm Street?
He was before that.
Okay.
He even says that being an actor was an accident. He actually wanted to be in a rock. He was in a band. He actually,
still is?
Even though he was born in Florida, he was mostly raised
Kentucky,
in
you said.
Kentucky. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say he was grew up in Florida.
Florida's
so like
own.
South Florida.
Florida
So
grown.
I thought that was really interesting.
All right, Kentucky born,
'cause
Florida grown.
I don't know. To me, like of all the states in America, I think Florida is the most piratey. Yeah.
It
for
certainly
sure.
is.
So it makes sense
Certainly
that he
is.
had some growing up in Florida
Yeah.
for sure.
Pretty much founded by, I think our first 60 years of government was pirate.
Maybe so. I think there's still quite a few piratey type behavior. They just hide it and call it Florida Man, but
There you go.
we know they're really pirates,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's
But,
the tip. That's the tip. Whenever you are in Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a moment whenever you are asked your name as citizens, okay? I'm trying to keep it spoiler free here. But I think the dream is that as many times as possible, what we experienced on our second ride happens, which was a young individual in the audience shouted out, what do they call them? And they're like, Florida Man. And
what do
like,
they call
Yeah,
Or
Florida
whatever.
Man. And
Yeah.
like, she's like hoping for it every time now. So
It
if
was
you
a
can
funny joke.
contribute
I thought it
to
was
Tiffany's
hilarious.
dream, it's something to give
Yeah,
back.
for
When the
sure.
question is asked, yell Florida Man.
Yeah, we see some crazy stuff. Just the other day, I was just telling Brad, like, there was a guy riding on the highway kind of recklessly on his bike without a helmet, and Brad's like, oh man, so you were concerned.
I was very
You were
concerned.
concerned. I was like, that's a Florida man. Like, that's what they do.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But no, speaking of
But going
things
back
speaking of
to
things on the
Johnny
rise,
Depp.
I want to say really quick. Like, I mean, you know, he's a Terrapin boy. You know, the turtles, Disney turtles, are on the rise at Disney. We are seeing so many more of them, not just Disney ducks.
Yes, look out for turtles. They're
Disney
adorable. As much as I think they're just as cute as the ducks.
Yeah,
But back to Johnny Depp. So he was in a band in Florida. The Kids was the band, and they actually went to they all went to California.
There you go.
They were like
They were
getting
on it.
some traction, doing
Right.
well, and then they changed their name to Six Gun Method. And yeah, but he was having to work a bunch of odd jobs.
Yeah.
Who knows, all the you can tell he's the type of guy that seems to have worked the kind of job, you know.
What does that mean?
He's real.
A pirate?
Realistic.
Oh, like able to
down
work.
to earth,
Yeah,
like
yeah, okay.
kind of person.
Nothing beneath him, like to get the job. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Get it done.
But he actually became friends with Nicolas Cage.
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool. And
Coppola
Nicolas Cage
family.
was the one who said, like, you should try out, because he needed money. And he's like, you should try out for Nightmare on Elm Street. And like he said, it was by accident that he got that role. Maybe possibly because the director's daughter liked him or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe that's a rumor. But that would make
Love
sense.
it.
He was a very attractive young man, and he got a role in a film.
There you go.
Yeah, so then it kind of like springboarded into other roles like 21 Jump Street
Right.
and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. And
You know-
Fox Sunday nights at the time was the watch. So
Yeah.
he claimed that spot.
But he actually wanted to look for more roles that actually fit his personality and the things that he wanted to do with his career. And so I think his connection with Tim Burton
Yes.
and some of those other films that we know, like we have really
Edward
enjoyed, like
Scissorhands,
of course,
yeah.
Edward Scissorhands.
But the big thing is Heathers. The big movie is Heathers.
You think so?
Yes, with
I
what
don't know.
I mean, it's
What
Ray
about
Leeds,
Crybaby?
Winona Ryder. Crybaby's awesome too.
Yeah, and then what was the other one where he's kind of, you know what I'm talking about, where he wears the hat and everything?
Oh, I mean, well, he's done that a couple times.
I'm so
The
sorry.
Mad Hatter.
No, of course not the Mad Hatter. Way before that.
Oh, Benny and June.
Benny and June. That's what I'm
Benny
thinking
and
of.
June.
Yeah.
Of course, like
Yeah.
it's right in that time frame of like singles and the whole
Yeah.
grunge and
But
West
then
Coast.
also, Who's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody always thinks DiCaprio on that,
That
but
was-
Big Brother.
To me, Who's Eating Gilbert Grape was very, like for me growing up, that was a very emotional film. Like it affected me, and they explored a lot of relationships and dealing with relationships in that, and
You would not
his
believe, but
brother.
at the time, everything they addressed was still significantly taboo in every community.
It really was. It really was.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It just showed that he had, you know, some talent going there. And then, you know, then he moves into, like you said, Edward Scissorhands
Right.
and things like that, where he becomes a character, just like with, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean with
Yeah.
Jack Sparow. That's something he's created,
And now
we all
rumored
know.
or announced to be returning as Beetlejuice. So wonderful. Taking
Yeah.
the helms from Michael Keaton on that.
Well, I was just going to share about, I was looking into like Alice in Wonderland. I saw a quote from him where he was talking about being the Mad Hatter and really taking it back to the roots of why he's called the Mad Hatter. And even in the books, that concept of the Mad Hatter comes from the fact that hatters would become mad because of the like toxic materials
Right.
they were working with, and
To make
mercury,
the
it actually
light,
turned.
to make the faces of the clocks glow.
Yeah. Hatter. He was a hatter, not a clocker.
Oh, sorry.
But anyway, his hair would be like he said like the orange in his hair and his skin was indicative of like the madness that was happening from those toxic things, and it would happen to them back then.
Yeah.
But then also with I know a lot of people maybe don't love this as much as we do, like Willy Wonka, that like he become like, when I first saw him as Willy Wonka, I was just like, I could hardly see Johnny Depp in that character. So I think he creates these really great fantasy characters, and he's very, very talented at that.
I believe he tells a story about when he first shared the Willy Wonka with Tim Burton, and it was just like,
well, and we don't have to tell you, because right now you can go on TikTok or on Instagram Reels or whatever you do, YouTube, and there's so much because of a little thing that's been going on.
But let's move on from that as quickly as possible.
There's plenty to find.
I mean, let's get on to the movies.
On Johnny Depp, but you guys celebrate his birthday on June 9th.
That's right.
Then moving on to June 10th, 1960, Disneyland's Pack Mules Through Nature's Wonderland opens in Frontierland. So it was originally called Mule Pack. I think Pack Mules Through Nature's Wonderland sounds more like a journey, like really fun. But the point I brought this up is, how cool would it be to ride horses or pack mules at Disney? That's just something we never got to experience.
We have not yet done the ranch out there.
We could go, you can go ride horses, of course, out there at the Wilderness Resort. But I mean, it's not like this was something you
out in the wilderness
did at the park.
Oh.
You didn't have to leave Disneyland. It was there. You just got to do it. I mean, it's something when we were growing up, like if we went to the fair,
that's high maintenance,
or whatever, we got to ride mules or donkeys or whatnot. But yeah, it is high maintenance. I can understand why they don't do it, but it's just, I love that. Aroma. I think it's so fun.
There's lots of things.
You don't like that aroma?
I mean, time and place.
Then moving on to 1995, over 100,000 people attend a free outdoor premiere of Disney's Pocahontas. This is way before, well, not way, but a few weeks before it premieres on June 23rd. And so 100,000 people actually go to New York City's Central Park and get to see an 80-foot screen showing of Pocahontas.
Okay, that's awesome.
Big. For 95, I think that's really interesting. So you had to buy tickets in advance through a lottery, etc. I'm sure more than 100,000 wanted to be there, but that's cool. If any of you guys are out there watching us that got to do this, I'd love to hear in the comments. New York City Central Park,
There you go. No Diana Ross level storms to speak of. There was like once she was performing in Central Park, and there was this massive storm.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway.
No Central Park?
No, it was all good.
No Central Park security riders?
Oh, from Elf. Okay, anyway. Enough of that.
They're still wanted for their actions.
We're going to move on.
Paul Simon.
The June 11th, 1977, Walt Disney World's version of the Main Street Electrical Parade. Yes. Premieres. Love this. 1977. It's so cool.
You see what's behind my head?
He's singing. Yep.
We have it. We got him.
Because of Star and Richard from the Star and Richard show, or Richard and Star show. It's both of them show. The awesome show. And they're lit.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. I'm taking them away. All right. So the parade featured the obviously like electrical lighted, floats and the awesome music, the Baroque hoedown. That's what it's called.
Yes. Not called do.
So they used like synthesizers to create this awesome song that we love. We love. The first version was created in 1967 by synthesizer pioneer Jean-Jacques Perry and Gershon Kingsley. So I love it. I really like the history of the music for it, and the idea of 77 of them having these lighted floats, and just the whole element that it's held up all these years. I know they've probably made made changes and made it more technically you know, accurate or better, but but we're looking forward to it coming back to Walt Disney World, please.
Please someday.
Yeah, it's one of, I mean, you gotta have a nighttime parade.
I had hoped it was back for the 50th.
That would have been great. Yeah. Yeah, but we're holding out, hopefully soon. And then moving on to June 12th. Well, but you can watch it at Disneyland, so that is good. Then moving on, like I said, to June 12th. 1616, the real Pocahontas, along with her husband John Rolfe and her son Thomas, arrive in London, England.
Yes.
So this was
the story of Pocahontas too.
Yeah, exactly. So this is when they, you know, they were representing the Virginia colony, and they had voyaged from the New World all the way to England. She probably would have been the first. You know, Native American to go in that sort of capacity. It was a public relations trip, really. And so in the beginnings there, they were working together, at least on this trip.
And there's mixed stories on this journey, too.
Of course. The royal, so she was presented to King James I and the royal family and the rest of the London society. So this is really important for, like we said, Pocahontas too, historically, and that's, you can check out that film and see what that was all about, or read up on some history from 1616. Yeah, probably both would be good. We love history around here, for sure. And then moving on to 1935, this is our last, you know, thing we're going to talk about this week, but it's romantic.
Oh.
Yeah, so Walt and Lillian Disney arrive in London, England, in Paddington Station, and they're going to stay at the Grosvenor House Hotel, and they are on their honeymoon. So they did not have their honeymoon till 10 years after they were married. So don't feel bad if that's something you have to put
on your bucket list.
It will happen, apparently. Well, for them, it did happen. Sometimes I mean, they got to take, you know, a nice, I'm pretty sure they took like a cruise ship all the way over there and then stayed in England and everything. So that would have been, I think this was actually supposed to be for Walt too, to relax and to
he needed it.
Health-wise.
He was holding off breakdown and he came back.
But I'm sure Lillian needed it too, needed some time with her husband and the romanticness of going to over to England.
Yeah, I'm sure it also like represented like a renewal.
Well, and this hotel is actually
of like vows, almost 10 years.
Yeah, it's actually, it's very beautiful, popular. You can stay there now if you would like to. So really, really cool. But that is it for this week in Disney, and we hope you guys have a good week, some cool things to celebrate, watch. Tell me in the comments your ideas about everything we talked about. I'd love to hear from you guys, and we hope you have a great week, and we will see you guys next time.